At Crepeau Mourges, we frequently represent clients who have been contacted by the state taxing authorities for sales tax audits. Sales tax audits can arise in a number of different ways, much like other audits. Sometimes they're random. Sometimes the taxing authority has a special initiative or targets a specific industry for such audits. Sometimes they may result from an audit of a different type of tax or issue, and other times they may simply be a result of a failure to file sales tax returns or make payments. Oftentimes, there's really no way of knowing. But unlike other audits, the stakes are high and things can get very personal. More on that later. And as with any audit from a tax or other state regulator, it is always a good idea to consult with a professional. In sales tax matters, a tax attorney can help in a multitude of different ways. I'm going to address just a few of them today. First, a tax attorney can be the face of your audit and can help to put the issues in focus. You may not even know that there is a potential issue. You may think that certain transactions are exempt from tax when the taxing authorities may not take that position. You may not even know that your tax filings actually say something. For instance, if your CPA made a mistake or an employee has hidden the issue from you, and the failure to perform pre-audit diligence may expose you to even greater audits or adjustments than you might think. It's also helpful to know what the state of the law and the facts are before unwittingly walking yourself into a trap in an audit. Based on interactions with the auditor and a review of financial and tax documentation from our clients, we can typically put the issues and risks in focus at an early stage in the audit process. This allows us to best defend our clients and employ a strategy that's focused on our clients' needs. Second, a tax attorney can also help to put your position in the best light during an audit. This can frequently help to limit the extent of bad issues and may help to limit the scope of an audit. Tax attorneys that deal with auditors should know the tricks of the trade and may be able to more easily explain to an auditor why a position is correct or otherwise defensible. If left to their own devices, auditors may try to walk all over a business owner and may themselves not even know the state of the law. To the extent that you are forced to deal with an auditor that is taking an incorrect position, a tax attorney may also be better able to convince them or their manager of the errors in their analysis. Tax attorneys also understand the administrative appeals options related to tax assessments and may be able to employ a strategy to resolve a significant error in the appeals process if not workable within the context of the audit. We can deal with auditors to help to frame the case in the best possible light for you. Third, and building on that last point, a tax attorney knows the options available to you and in the audit and, if necessary, the appeals or litigation phases. A CPA may not be able to represent a business should the matter need to be litigated. This can limit their involvement or may impair their strategy. Further, understanding the options and procedural limitations is of utmost importance in many cases. For instance, an auditor is required to send certain notices within certain periods of time in order to make a proper assessment of tax. If an auditor fails to properly issue such notices or issues them late, as can frequently happen, an experienced tax attorney can use these footfalls to their advantage to defeat a proposed assessment on procedural grounds, even if the sales tax would have been otherwise due and valid. As a further example, sales tax auditors frequently use sampling analyses in order to estimate an amount of underpaid tax over a greater period of time. A knowledgeable tax attorney can undermine some of these assumptions used in these analyses and can often use these as grounds for reductions of tax in a managerial review or administrative appeal. And when there are multiple issues involved in a sales tax matter, for instance, if sales were underreported and erroneous exemptions were claimed, a tax attorney may be able to guide the auditor towards a position that is more defensible down the road. Tax auditors frequently have limits on the amount of time budgeted for audits or may not be experienced in certain areas, and we may be able to use that to our advantage. We frequently employ a number of these types of strategies to defend our clients. Finally, the stakes of a sales tax audit can be very high. Adjustments from a sales tax audit may be extrapolated to multiple years, and for many businesses, the amount of sales tax can exceed income taxes that might be due. A significant misstep in an audit could sink a business or severely impact its ability to operate. On top of that, unlike income taxes, the failure to pay sales tax can result in personal liability to owners and managers of a business. This can wreck many individuals, put employees at odds with one another, and can have a lasting impact on one's livelihood. On top of that, significant penalties and interest can apply for misstatements and mispayments. Criminal penalties can also apply for intentional omissions and failures to pay. And civil penalties and interest can often exceed the amount of the underlying tax that might be due. So from the outset, it's important to deal with an attorney focusing on these types of matters so you can be informed and prepared for a fight. Even if you may not ultimately win the fight, a tax attorney can frequently minimize the damage, limit or abate penalties, and can help to keep your business operating. At Crepeau Mourges, we focus on representing taxpayers in audits where the stakes are high. We understand the issues discussed, like those today, as well as other issues that might come up in sales tax audits. We use our background as tax attorneys and CPAs to advise our clients and devise strategies to defend and win, whatever the type of tax audit and whatever the circumstances may be. Call us today to see how we can put our skills and experience to work for you.